If you're dating in your 30s, you have three options, okay? Number one is a 22-year-old that's got mommy issues that thinks he's God's gift to earth. No, thank you. Number two is the 30-year-old, you know, same age as you, that is so traumatized from his past relationship that he ain't got to give. So what's the point in that? And number three, you've got your 40 to 50-year-old men that you think, oh, maybe they have their together, they know what they want. No, because they're so traumatized from their divorce because their ex-wife cheated on them that they're out partying like they're 18 again. I quit.
Wow, out of all the choices, this obviously informed queen has broken men down into 3 selections for the recent wall-smashing princess to choose from. Let's use her own numbers. 1, the 22-year-old with mommy issues. Okay, I guess someone over 30 just told the internet she was a cougar on the prowl. Isn't it funny how women in this same age group use shaming language on men who date younger women? 2, 30-year-old who is so traumatized he has nothing to give. Allow me to translate that from womanese. He got divorced not too long ago, lost half of everything he had. He is very defensive of what he has left and what he is rebuilding. There is a low chance you can get a big payout on divorce now that he is experienced. To my viewers, tell me in the comments if that summed it up. 3, 40 to 50-year-old men who are partying like they are 18 again. Let me try to educate any of you ladies out there on how you don't really understand the situation. Chances are very high that a 40-year-old man who has worked on himself has way more options than when he was 18. Most of you women don't understand that because all of you got approached when you were 18. If anything, 18 was the turbulent dating times for the average guy. Now, it's smoother sailing. Okay. Moving on.
A quick question. Where are we meeting the men that actually want to date and be in a relationship? Because it's not the dating apps. It's not. It's not the coffee shops. I've been trying that. I've been trying that for a while now. Definitely not the bars. Not at my age, because they're all like 21, 22. So they definitely don't want to be in a relationship. And I definitely do not want to be a cougar. Nothing wrong with that. Just not my type. I, again, tend to go about 8 to 10 years older than me. I found out even those don't want to date for a relationship. Even they are still figuring things out. Yeah, they are. So where are we meeting the ones that want to date and be in a relationship? That want to date to eventually get into a relationship. That are dating to see if we're compatible for a relationship, not other things. No. I need to know, because I have yet to find them. And I've been looking, so maybe I should stop looking. I don't know. But if you know, please let me know. Help your girl out. Where are we meeting the good men? Where are we meeting the men that actually want to be in a real relationship? Let me know.
Dang, fam, this queen has looked everywhere to find a good man to have a relationship with, except in her friend zone. Ladies, I'm going to be 100 with all of you. By the time a woman has reached close enough to the wall that she can describe the bricks she is about to smash through, mathematically speaking, she probably already had met a decent man she could have settled down with, and she would probably be in a lovely home. In that same tone, I honestly believe post-wall queens probably discarded the chances with said guy for some superficial reasons that would have had minimal negative impact in the long run. Oh, you ladies don't buy that. According to your vibes, energy, and female intuition, this gorilla doesn't know what he is talking about and bases everything he says out of pure misogyny. Well, allow me to retort. Single ladies in the 30-plus age range, have you ever passed up on a guy because he didn't make enough money, or he was balding, or he wasn't as tall as you liked them, or he was heavier than you like, or he didn't have supermodel good looks, or his views didn't line up with what your gender studies professor taught you? Can you ladies honestly say with 100% conviction that you never passed on a guy because of details as small as these? Sorry ladies, but when multiple videos of women deciding which man they are going to go out with is based on his car and the restaurant he selected, that just shows a transactional mindset, not an emotional mindset. And once you have hit the wall, you find yourselves with less to barter with. But somehow you think you have more.
How dare you?
Moving on.
Women hitting the wall need to do tactics. Men, you can't say no woman hit the wall because you know what? Y'all don't even have money. Like, women can hit the wall all day and still be too good for you. Okay? Like, I don't understand this. Oh, she hit the wall. She's over 30. Okay, but you can't even afford to date someone your own age. Well, you can't even impress a 30-year-old. You can't even impress a woman that's hit the wall. That's sad. A woman done hit the wall and you still can't impress her. That's pretty bad. Okay. You know, that's sad. I wouldn't even say you hit the wall if I can't even impress you. Y'all hit the wall. At least we got a wall. We don't share one with a next door neighbor. And okay, how you doing? At least our wall is in our name, baby, not in our mama name. At least we could put nails in our wall without having to lose the deposit fee. Okay. At least our walls ain't got roaches inside of it. I know y'all love when I troll y'all.
Isn't it funny how this queen laughs that some men can't afford to date a woman? She literally doesn't realize she is admitting that form of dating is basically the oldest profession with an extra step. Even worse, she makes it sound like women can't even afford to feed themselves at a decent restaurant. Queen, before you start slinging your put-downs on men, think them through because it reflects worse on you. I mean, if a man has to flash money to impress a woman,
Yeah, but the hose!
Oh, what? It's too hard to get the hose?
that insinuates what she has to offer has a price. And saying at least you have a wall is not a flex. That's like saying at least you have PMS and everybody better recognize. About the attempt at humor on her walls. Sorry there, Queen, you can't put no nail in a brick wall when you are smashing through it at hormonal speeds. You want to know where this wall is at there, princess? Take a look at your dwindling internal egg count. Tack onto that the greatly increased pregnancy risk at that age. Along with that, the lines and wrinkles that have formed. Along with that, the increase in your medication intake. Along with that, the new spitefulness spewing out of you. Along with that, the higher demands you think you are entitled to. Along with that, the baby daddy count you already have going. And along with that, your obvious need to complain about men. The sad thing with all this is those were just some of the more obvious bricks of the wall.
Fatality.
Flawless victory.
Moving on.
Finding a relationship after 30 is probably one of the best life hacks. Obviously on paper, yeah, it'd be nice to find your partner in your 20s and build that life together while you're building your careers and following your dreams and all that stuff. But that's just not the reality for some people. Many of my close friends did not find their partners until their 30s, some of them even their 40s. And they are living their best lives. Because let's be real, like in your 20s, you are stupid and you make stupid decisions like I did when I married my ex-husband at 23 years old. But in your 30s, you are so much smarter. You put up with so much less you know what you want, you've figured out where you want to go in life, and you're going to find a partner that's following that dream and that pathway with you. And I'm sure you are amazing, and if you're single and amazing, there's also going to be other single amazing people out there. Or maybe they're just one divorce away from being available. I'm joking, but not really. But my advice is don't compare yourself to other people and their timelines because you have your own journey and your own timeline, and life is not linear. My advice from what I've seen with a lot of my friends in their 30s and 40s dating is continue to live your best life, be your best self, and the right person is going to follow along and want to join you for the ride. If you're still single in your 30s, it means you haven't settled for the wrong person, and that's a win in my book.
One divorce away from being available. Yeah, this isn't surprising as to one of the reasons women constantly feed into the 70% plus divorce rate, aka hypergamy. Also, they're Kawain. Just because a woman gets remarried in her 40s, that's not a long-term W. As statistically speaking, second marriages have a higher divorce rate than the first marriage at about 60%, aka my second husband was just as toxic as my first husband, and I, the innocent middle-aged woman who put in for the divorce, needs to find the right man because I deserve it phase. And the line this queen made of, if you're still single in your 30s, it means you haven't settled for the wrong person, and that's a win in my book.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Really, that's like telling the Cleveland Browns fans, if your team hasn't been to the Super Bowl yet, it's because they aren't settling for the wrong championship year, and that's a win in my book. Ouch. Too soon, maybe? Anyway, this video is just a bit short of another injection of copium to those recently post-wall smashed single ladies. Okay, to my female viewers, you can continue to listen to this kind of dribble and tank all that Kool-Aid all you want. Or you could accept this gorilla's advice. Maybe. Here goes. In your early 30s, you have a few disadvantages competing with women in their 20s. We're clear on that. I advise you concentrate on playing to your strengths against women in their 40s. Play the long game as in the rest of your life, not your ditzy feels of how awesome this week's energy is based on horoscope reads. If a man 10 years older can give you 80% of what you need, then why bother taking an L with anyone else? Your fifis change on the daily. He is going to be the rock that will be there for the long run. Either that or get back to Chad/Tyrone's roster. Moving on.
I'm going to start a conversation that's going to spark a lot of controversy, specifically with middle-aged men and middle-aged male podcasters, but I'm over it. I am so sick of seeing middle-aged, washed up, promiscuous, ex-boys, divorcees / baby daddies online yammering on about body count. The conversation of body count is reserved specifically for young, successful, virtuous, well-intended men seeking a wife who is young and virtuous as well. The fact that a lot of you men spent an entire lifetime damaging and degrading your target marital demographic only to turn around and condemn them, and then furthermore feel entitled to one that does not belong to you is absurd. And sometimes I actually feel like I'm in the twilight zone because contrary to legalities and way of equality for men and women, we're still very much in a patriarch. And it was the patriarch that up and decided sex sells, and that's what they did. They sold sex to their women and children so they could comfortably exploit women's sexuality for their own entertainment, and here we are.
She's going to sink, Captain.
But she can't sink. She's unsinkable.
This Queen puts a video out where she is very passionate about older men having standards about body count. Why would any woman be so obsessed about a man's body count preference unless,
him, her, him, bodies.
A good friend of hers is hurt by that. It obviously has to be that. Okay, let me try to explain this to those women out there who are bothered by this. In a way, it could be accepted as more probable reasoning. Ladies, just like a good portion of you refuse to ever given a dusty a chance, well, for most men, a woman with a high body count is considered a female dusty. According to Urban Dictionary, the definition of a dusty, link in the description, a broke player, typically a male, who has nothing to offer but S followed by an X, usually a user. This type may appear to be what society deems successful but targets the vulnerable and likes to exploit womanism and pick-me's, willing to go Dutch, 50-50, etc. They often look good on paper, but if you pay close attention, their game unravels quickly. Willing to accept they're nothing but trouble, avoid at all cost. End definition. Well, in that mindset, a woman who has a high body count that can be considered thought levels is widely accepted as a dusty by most men. Kind of like they don't want to pay top dollar for tires with little traction left to them.
Damn! It has been normalized because it's just spoon-fed to us on a daily basis. Cool, we can't undo it. It's primal, we're all kind of drawn to it. We don't need to make it taboo, but you guys do. And to me, it's not about innies or outies or keys or master locks anymore. It's just weird. Because if you're participating in sexual activity, what are you expecting? Either you're all going to run through the exact same women or each other. Activity does not exist without women's participation. So how did you normalize it and then condemn them for it? I'm not following. And moreover, how do you question a woman's integrity or morality when she's participating in the same activity you initiated and exploited, but she's doing it responsibly? If she's not contracting STDs or having unwanted pregnancies, she doesn't have to lie or hurt anybody. Why do you feel the number of participants is information you should be privy to, or further, judge her on? Outside of the conundrum, it is the audacity to condemn the demographic you spent an entire lifetime degrading and then furthermore feeling entitled to one that is untainted, while there are men who are actually capable of not only loving them, but not damaging them.
You heard that clearly. To all my male viewers, how dare any of you have standards? It's just disgusting that you willingly sleep with these women and then you try to find a pure woman when you want to settle down. Uber shaming language sounds about par for the course here. I mean, it would be too easy for this gorilla to point out that in their teen years and early 20s, women have shown the exact same attitude this riled up queen is accusing men of having. How many women made fun of or rejected a man who didn't have money or wasn't tall enough or wasn't chiseled for them? They all had high standards that not every man could control. And men just took it on the chin for the most part, worked on themselves, and improved. Now that those old players, as she put it, are higher in SMV and are saying they aren't selling for a 3 or 4 with a triple-digit bedroom grand slam count, they are somehow wrong. Listen, sister, I understand your point of how some things just seem unfair, but I will let you in on a little secret. Life isn't fair. Just ask the average guy of how unfair dating life has been for him.
But wait! There's more!
Is insane. Like, nobody wants to be your wife. The best shot you have at finding love is finding a middle-aged woman who's desperate and brainwashed enough to believe that you're the best she can find. But you guys coming in middle-aged with multiple kids by multiple different women, some of which you don't even see, no history of ever holding a household together, but a reputation for being an avid cheater, expecting yourself to be considered the prize. Sir, you're not even a participation award. You are a life sentence of drama, stress, and heartbreak. You and all your baby mamas, your child support, your reputation, the revolving door of exes and side pieces sporadically popping up to see if you're ready to be unfaithful again. The women you degraded and disposed of, lurking and constantly gossiping about your decisions. Your own friends and family perplexed as to how you got a decent woman to even give you the time of day. And then you sprinkle on top the habits you've developed from outwardly disrespecting, degrading, and disposing of women for decades while completely being unchecked. And you think you're the prize. You think you're entitled to a high quality, young, virtuous woman?
Who hurt you?
You know, if I was a cynical leaning gorilla, I may actually believe that a possible interpretation to the fervor behind this queen's speech could be that she might be expressing discomfort from investing time and emotional effort to try and lock down an older HVM who is a Chad/Tyrone. And in the end, she discovered she wasn't the main woman, but in fact, she was the side chick. Or I am just an obtuse, misogynistic gorilla who can't see anything past his own deluded opinion. Okay, ladies, let's flip this around. Let's say this video was of a man in his 30s going on a tear-jerking tear about how when women divorce men and take half his assets, take away his children, and then think they deserve to find everything they want is so unfair and controversial. Well, you ladies would call that man an incel. You would use shaming language, belittling him, and go as far as demanding he be canceled while calling him a misogynist. Yeah, the only difference is if a man does it, he is trying to help other men. When women like this queen does it, they're trying to shame men into marrying thottery.
Emotional damage!
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.